Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, you guys know this does not work without you guys. So, I've been talking about this for a few weeks now about the CBA. The CBA will affect the Dallas Cowboys in a lot of ways. And I think that this thing is getting closer and closer by the minute because the main sticking point for the players was they don't want that 17 game schedule. And that was thought to be dead on arrival. But as I told you guys from what I saw at the Players Association party, that Robert Kraft was there the day that the Players Association got the proposal from the owners. And DeMar Smith and Robert Kraft and Winston were there, the head of the players union and everything. And it seemed like things were okay. Now, it was still the sticking point about the 17 games, but what we're hearing is the players have sent a counter proposal back to the owners that said, okay, tell you what, how about we enact the 17 game season a year later? Because they wanted to implement it the 21-22 season. Players saying, how about 22-23 season? That way, a lot of these contracts will expire, and since you're adding another game onto it, really you're not getting an increase for getting that extra game. That'll allow a lot of these players to get new deals that will include being 17 games, so to speak. And this is where it's almost funny because I know I don't work for ESPN or NFL Network. I'm not the insider, like Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport and things like that. But I swear, things that I tell you guys, that it seems like a day or two later, they start talking about it. And I've been talking about this Players Association and how it affects or will affect the Cowboys. And I talked about Randy Gregory. I did a video. I said, could it be possible we see the return of Randy Gregory and David Irving back into the NFL? Because one of the goodies that the NFL players would get is relaxing on the testing for weed. Instead of it being testing that starts on April 20th and goes through training camp, it would be a 2-week window. And that would change how they look and the punitive damages because of it. And that's where I said, if you're somebody like Randy Gregory who never got in any trouble, other than he couldn't stay off the weed, that might mean that you are possibly able to return. We don't know what condition Randy Gregory's in, or what shape he's in, or if he even has any desire, but it does open up the possibilities. And because the CBA will mean more money onto the cap, there's some players out there who it will affect directly, and it behooves them to go ahead and say, let's get this deal done, because it will raise the amount of money starting this year that will go on the cap. The cap's already set to go up to about 197 million because of the increase. And the way the salary cap works is 47% of gross revenue. The owners say, if you take this deal, give us the 17th game, we'll change those percentages and give you more money, including this year, on this year's cap, which is why they want it done before the 18th of March. So if you're Pat Mahomes and you know that the Kansas City Chiefs have 27 free agents, 27, and they're trying to pay me a boatload of money, but they only got $13 million in cap space, you're hoping this deal passes, because that means some of those other players that I need to help me get to that Super Bowl can be re-signed along with me getting my big fat payday. So, it's not the only ones that it affects. If you're somebody like Antwon Woods, about 6 foot, about 320. Defensive tackle, about the biggest run stopper that we have on our defense. We don't know how the Cowboys view him. Now, he is an exclusive rights free agent. And what that means is the Dallas Cowboys can offer him whatever they want, and nobody else can offer him anything else. And then he has the choice of playing for that money or sitting out the year. So the Cowboys technically could lowball him. And here's one of those things that they could kind of use against him a little bit, is because you did get stopped for weed possession. Now here's where, if you're Antwon Woods, that you say, I think I'm voting for this agreement. One, there's more money to sign us free agents. Two, the changes in the laws or the rules for marijuana usage, maybe it'll be retroactive, and that arrest that I have won't lead to me having a 4-game suspension and having to give up 4 games paychecks. Yeah. Where do I sign? And that's where this deal, you may not like the 17 games, but if you're the Dallas Cowboy players, you say, you know, I'm thankful that I can get a pay raise and stay here. I'm happy that maybe I can get a pass rusher in Randy Gregory in here. I'm happy that Antwon Woods won't be suspended for weed usage, and I may have him here for the whole season. And that's why you need to pay attention to the CBA, because it will directly affect how everything is done this offseason for not only the Cowboys, but a lot of other teams that are cash strapped. It's going to get interesting. And as the dominoes go, this will actually relate to everything you do and how you make personnel decisions. Make no mistake about it. There's a lot of work to be done between now and the 16th of March. A lot. And it behooves the Cowboys to start lining up these contracts, especially before, if you're the Cowboys, before the CBA happens. Now, I will say this much. We looked at the Cowboys and said, why are you paying D-Law? Why are you paying Zeke Elliott early? Why are you paying Jalen Smith and La'el Collins? Why are you taking care of all these guys that you didn't necessarily have to take care of? You could have went through with La'el Collins at the rate he was at. Because at that point, beginning last year, they're still on the fence on, is he a great player or not? Is he a guy you want to invest with? Jalen Smith, you didn't have to do anything till like this year for him, but you locked him up last year. Zeke Elliott still had 2 more years because you used the 5th-year option on him. Why would the Cowboys do these contracts when they didn't have to? And why did they pay him so much money? We may actually look back a couple of years from now, and we may look back and say, damn, the Cowboys were ahead of the curve to get those guys locked down. Because if the salary cap jumps up, say $250 million, like I'm saying it will in about 2 years. Of course, when the salary cap goes up, the players' contracts go up. The players' demands go up. If you've gotten all of these pieces that are your high-priced pieces locked in when the values and contracts were lower before the mad rush, then you're actually ahead of the game. Somebody once told me about real estate. You don't make your money when you sell the property. You make your money when you buy it, depending on the price that you paid. It's that investment that you put into it that determines whether or not you're going to make money. Damn if that doesn't seem to be true. telling you. CBA happens, which I believe it will this week. Things are going to change big time in the NFL. And that's all I have to say about that. All right, guys. I will see you later. I hope you guys had a great weekend.